how you can create a pre-study ritual so you basically can enter in the zone mode as many times as you want during the day. And how am I to tell you this? Because you will say, okay, but like, who is this guy with the fucking Dragon Ball shirt? Well, I'm basically this guy right here. By the way, I'm not a fan of Dragon Ball. If you thought about it like that, I just like this shirt and that's it. Okay, so I basically achieved this in 4 years. And yeah, I've learned English. I'm learning Japanese right now. I'm basically at a conversational level in my Japanese. And I went from 8 hours of TikTok daily to 8 hours of language learning daily. And all of this because of learning languages, right? And so the point that we're going to be talking about first is this one: do always the same things at the same time. So whenever you do the same things at the same time, you don't have to think about the actions that you have to do. And this is probably the most important thing that you have to actually understand whenever it comes to productiveness in everything, but especially in language learning, right? And so if who do you think you are going to be if you actually study the same thing at the same hour, at this like the same thing at the same hour, and you eat even like the same thing the same days for an entire year or for an entire month? Who do you think you can become? You can become actually ultra productive. And there's this type of um argument in which the person is going to say to you, okay, but like you're having a very monotonous life. But in reality, you can kind of guess that even when you're inside of a very monotonous life, you're even like going to have more fun because you can put all of your focus in the task that you're doing. And so even when I had like this really focused phase in which I was studying Japanese, right now I'm actually not really like studying like 8 hours of language learning daily per se, because I'm just getting at the phase in which I'm really comfortable with the language and I don't really feel like I should be pushing that much. And so I kind of like push a lot more whenever I'm like um whenever I'm studying a new language, right? And so that's probably with the next language that I'm going to be studying. But right now, yeah, I'm not like pushing that much. But like when I was pushing a lot, like 8 hours daily, 10 hours daily, bro, I can tell you that probably that was a very happy period of my life because you always remember the hard times like golden times. Actually, like last year, I don't know if you know this, but like I live at Venezuela, right? And I lost like I don't know $1,000, and it was actually kind of like it hurt myself actually a lot. Like I cried and everything because $1,000 here in Venezuela, if you don't know, it's actually kind of a lot of money. And so yeah, so I lost that money, and I actually kind of yeah basically cried and all those things. And I remember that time like a golden time. Why? Because I suffered through something that was actually able to make me way more, I don't know, to give me more strength, right? Will be the right wording. And so never remember something like like whenever you are going through a period of your time in which it's kind of painful, you should know that that time you are going to remember it like the golden times, and that's why you should keep pushing through that thing. And so also, if you want to get into that ritual, it should be actually something kind of enjoyable but not that hard. You probably have heard about this already, which is that if you want to enter like in that zone as many times as possible, it should not be something super hard, which basically makes you have like this type of anxiety or something. No, it should not be like that. It should be something which is actually kind of enjoyable, but it's actually kind of easy. And so the thing that I kind of like entered the song with before recording this video was recording sorry, was not recording, was reading, was basically studying 100 sentences for 1 hour in Japanese, right? About a video that I didn't really understand that much because I mean, I don't know, there was just a lot of slang type of vocabulary and I didn't really understand, right? And so I studied 100 sentences for 1 hour, and that basically put me in this focus zone type of a state. And it was actually pretty easy because I did it with like the lo-fi music. I did it with my coffee. I was just listening to the sentences without really worrying about anything. And so it's just like when you're in that type of very relaxed type of a state and you're doing something which is enjoyable, which for me is just like getting that coffee, listening to lo-fi, like all of the things, right? It becomes something really enjoyable, and it becomes really easy for you to get into that, into basically that ritual, right? And so yeah, this is probably something that you want to um, do a lot. Like basically, just get the task, find a task that is enjoyable for you, and don't make it that hard, right? And if possible, do it with a type of music if you want that you actually do enjoy. For me, it's lo-fi, but for you, it can be everything as long as it is a music, a sorry, yeah, a music that is instrumental. Uh, it should be fine. So the next point is prepare it one night before, and this is literally the most important point. So if you want to enter the zone state as many times as possible on the day, you need to have everything prepared, which is actually kind of like the same as this point. And so whenever you have everything prepared, you don't have to think about anything, right? You don't have to think about the next action that you should be doing. You just do it. That's it. And so when you do this, you basically become a robot. And you will say, okay, but like robots are boring. And no, because like if you don't have to think about the next thing that you have to do, if you just have to think about the thing that you're just doing and that's it, then basically you're going to enter the zone a lot. And by entering the zone, I don't know if you know this, but like if you enter, like your happiness is defined by how many tasks on your day you enter the zone. I don't know if you understand, if I explain myself well there, but I'm going to repeat it. If you enter uh, the zone a lot on your day, that's basically going to define your happiness, right? And so for this, you have to prepare it one night before. Sorry, you have to prepare it like one day before, 1 hour before you're going to sleep. That's what I do. So 1 hour before I'm going to sleep, I'm going to basically prepare everything that I'm going to do in here. So literally in this notebook, I'm going to basically write all of the things that I'm going to do tomorrow very specifically. It needs to be very specific for it to actually work. And so um, basically, if I'm going to eat something, I'm going to say at this hour I'm going to eat it. If I'm not going to eat anything, I'm going to say at this hour I'm not going to eat anything. And so that's how it works, and that's how you don't think about anything. Because let's be honest, if you always are thinking about the thing that you're going to eat, how you are going to eat it, uh, in I don't know in what way you're going to like, I don't know, fuck the girl that you're fucking, whatever thing, bro. It's just that you're going to get so much of those thoughts in the things that you're basically uh, so much of the thoughts whenever you're studying, and if you get lots of those thoughts, basically what will happen is that you will be distracted, and you don't want to be distracted, right? And so please prepare everything that you will do tomorrow at the specific hour, the thing that you're going to do, what you're going to do is not only that you're going to see vocabulary, but like how many pieces of vocabulary, um, how many pieces of vocabulary, what pieces of vocabulary from what genre, like all of those things, right? So you want to do that thing. I know it seems like very autistic, but literally this is how you are productive in language learning. And the last point is low dopamine level uh, activities always, right? So what I mean by this is that if you want to actually be accustomed to like entering the ritual, entering the zone in tasks that actually are really boring, then on a daily basis, you should be doing activities which are actually boring. So you know for a fact that reading is boring, and that's why you don't enter the zone in reading that much, because it's boring, and also because like you are not accustomed to consuming low dopamine level content, and so that's probably something that you want to do. So the next time that you're going to kind of like enter this zone state in whatever task that you want to do, you should be doing things like for all of your day, you should be reading. Sorry. For all of your day, you should be doing tasks like reading. You should be doing tasks like maybe watching podcasts. You go to YouTube, you download the podcast, and literally instead of watching a 2 minute video, you basically just watch the fucking podcast, right? And that's how basically you become a way more productive. And yeah, that's it for the video, and I hope that you liked it. And yeah, I don't know, leave a like, subscribe if you want more people to be more disciplined in our training and be more productive. Thank you.